Okay, my fellow Earthlings. Now this is a short video with my girlfriend Amalie doing a little Q&A, asking some questions about portrait painting when I'm doing this. You've maybe seen this before in my streams. This is just a short video about portrait painting. What was quite funny yesterday when we're doing this, I was actually filming from this side, and as you can see, the face looks totally wrong when you go to the side, and I was struggling mildly. I figure out why is this, because it should be the same thing. But then we realized something very important. I think it's actually the paint, because I use a lot of thick colors, thick layers of color to create that skin tone and stuff. And I think it actually is, when I film from the side, the light that hits the canvas hits the physical paint more than it hits the photo, so that actually twists the whole thing. Or maybe it is the angle, as you see now. But anyway, we figured out, because I thought I was doing something wrong, so just figure out that, wow, I'm actually on the right track. So it's not so bad after all. It's not finished, it's work in progress. It's also commission work. So commission works are always harder, because you are afraid to kind of disappoint the customer. Anyway, I hope you can give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment, tell me what you think. It's very important for the algorithm that you give a thumbs up and maybe a short comment. What's also important, if you like me to teach you how to paint, you can go to my Patreon and sign up there, and I will do my best to help you. And if you just want to support my channel, you can donate, or both on Patreon or on Buy Me a Coffee, which you'll find a link to in description. So I hope you enjoy this Q&A while I'm painting, and we'll see you in the next video. Son, okay, we are here with my beautiful girlfriend Amalie.
Hello.
Which you will find. You find a link to her YouTube channel in the description, so go check it out. Help her grow, which is aunt. She needs 17 more followers to be able to stream. So yeah, she's gonna ask me some questions about painting, portrait. Probably the same things, because it's from ChatGPT.
Yeah, it actually came with some new things this time.
Wow. Impressive.
Let's see, or yeah, not that different though. In your opinion, what makes a great portrait?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Well, a great portrait. It depends what you ask. Do you ask subject matter, or do you ask about the painting? For me, it is all about getting the texture, the skin texture, and on the likeness and stuff like that. That makes it into a good portrait. Now, of course, if you're gonna think about expressions in the face, what is bad is teeth. Paintings that are too or expressions that are too fabricated is not good. But I think a portrait painting is all about the skin and about the likeness and stuff like that. That is what makes it into a good portrait for me. If the paint is well done, that is basically what I think. if you can catch a person's personality in the expression, that is of course very good. And I think actually this one was quite good in that way, because we tried to take a good photo of him, and we didn't take many pictures, so we kind of find an expression that worked pretty fast. So, but he's kind of in the middle. He's almost smiling, but he's not really smiling. So, and he seems a little bit uncertain. He's not that confident. He tries to look confident, but he kind of shines through that he's not really, he doesn't. But he was very pleased with this one because he liked the expression. He even asked me if he could use the photo as a profile pic on his Facebook, and of course that's fine by me. Just credit who's been taking it and stuff. So yeah, I think it is basically, I think the most important for me is of course that I get it right. As of now, as we discussed before we started, I have painted the eyes a little bit too big. And as I said, I've been streaming when I was painting, and I didn't concentrate enough, so I did some mistakes that I have to fix. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, you actually answered the next question. If you believe portrait painting is more about accuracy or interpretation.
No, I think it's about accuracy.
Mm.
Yeah, that is the most important thing for me, anyway. Because a challenge for me is actually getting it right, and yeah.
But I also think about interpretation, as how
interpretation of him as a person, or what do you mean? I do actually, of course, when I paint him, I look at him subjectively, okay? So I kind of, I don't focus on that when I'm painting. I'm just focusing on trying to get the likeness right and try to get the skin tone right and stuff. But of course I do automatically probably automatically add in a subjective experience of his expression, okay, over time. So there probably is some subjective interpretation, as the mistake I did because he looks at me so much that when I'm painting him, I tend to exaggerate his eyes, okay, because I notice his eyes all the time. Actually, you two have kind of a little bit of the same eyes. Do you see that? You see that over here? There's a little bit. Is he your dad? No.
I also, when I painted
He's your age,
myself and my dad, the eyes look so crazy in the beginning before you get them right.
It's nuts. You know.
They look completely insane.
Yeah. And the eyes are, it's very important. Of course, I think if it was a bad portrait, if I didn't like his expression, it would make it harder to do it. But here I actually I do like this portrait. So I guess how the portrait comes out before I paint it. Matters. It matters. If you like something, it's maybe easier to paint it. So yeah. I'm gonna ask me a little bit about skin tone, maybe something. I don't know. Just ask me the questions you have.
Okay.
I haven't glazed or anything yet, so it's just until now it's just raw paint. So there's no layers or anything. It's layers, but it's no. I haven't done any glazing yet. So.
Okay, see, how do you approach creating realistic skin tones in your portraits?
Yeah, then you have to actually my basis for it is red, blue and yellow. And then I have some broken colors, you know, this one I've been talking about in the streams, Naples Gal Extra or Naples Yellow Extra as it's called. It's crucial for me with the Alsarin and the French Ultramarine and Vermillon and, you know, the yellow, the cadmium yellow and the lemon yellow. It is quite limited, but what I try to do is to get in the yellows, and then there's some blue here, and there's some reddish, there's some Alsarin here, and then it goes over to the yellow again, and in here there was some light with some blue in it. And you just have to kind of try to repeat all these different colors, so also in nuance. And in the end, there's no, as I said, there's no, you can buy actually a color called flesh tint, and it's probably one of the most ridiculous colors I have, or I can think of, because what the hell does that even mean? Is there a flesh tint for black people?
Isn't it a light pink color?
Yeah, it's a light pink, but it's kind of a Caucasian flesh tone. Okay, it's not a black guy flesh tone or a Asian guy flesh tone. It is a white man's. It should actually be white man skin pink or something like that. Okay, so it's ridiculous, and that color is actually Alsarin or kraplak, because if you take kraplak and you take a little bit of blue, you get the same color. But then you have, and that what is pink actually? Okay, it's more. What is actually pink? It is.
It's a mix of blue and red.
Reddish, yeah. Reddish, I would say.
Maybe?
Yeah. So also I try to build, as I do here now, I try to build out the, it's almost like clay. If you see here, I work like it's clay, so I get this thing to come out. So you have to not just think about the colors, but if you have some red here, red around, or red with it, you know, the Alsarin has some blue with it, there will be yellow around here. And there is some yellowish colors here. And there's yellow. And you have some more reddish in that deep here, and you have yellow behind here, and some blue behind there again, and yellow here. So we just have to kind of observe all these different nuances and try to just get it right by doing all the necessary mistakes. You can't just You can't just paint a pink color and call it skin. And that is what many people do. They just paint it red or yellow, or, you know, they don't see all the nuances in between. And it's very important to do directions. It's basically almost like cubism in a way. That you have to go and find the right directions. So yeah. Is it getting better? Is it just me? Huh? Mm. Also, it's difficult because it's when I stand like this twists a little bit, and I have a tendency to, when I stand beside, to paint it in the wrong perspective. So that is also a problem you have to be very conscious of. The best thing would maybe to have this one there. Maybe I should actually try. Okay, I can do that. I have one there too, but to get that right, you have to kind of see it in the right perspective. But I can see actually if I could do something with the eyes. Maybe it's too early to do it with the eyes actually. Because that also, let too much detail, keep that open. And of course I did that mistake. I do that same mistake myself every single time I paint. I do the same mistake, and maybe I go into the details too fast, like I actually did with this one. And because I noticed that I didn't think the face was it long enough or wide enough, so I started to make it bigger. And today I had to take it from here to here in the beginning, and I had to take the chin, this up, and I had to move the lip higher up, and I see even now I have to go even higher. So, and the lip color is actually also Alsarin. Have you tried Kraplak?
What's that?
The Kraplak is kind of looks like Alsarin. I know it's very popular color. Just Google it. Google Kraplak. And read what.
Stavar du det?
Kraplak. Kraplak.
Med K?
Krapp. Yeah, try that. Kraplak. I think it's more like a reddish, almost like Alsarin color.
Alltså kappla.
Kraplak.
Krapp.
Krapp, ja. Krapp.
Ja.
That too, you have to kind of work with all the small things. You can't draw the face. You have to paint all the. I was looking for the word today when I was filming. In between nuances, how to get the. Altså overganger. Hvordan vil du si overganger på engelsk?
Transitions?
Only word I could think about was a bridge. You know? And I was saying like I am making a bridge from this nuance here over to this one. And that bridge has to be basically invisible.
In Google Translate, it's the direct translation is transition.
Transition, okay. Transition. Because that is what Vermeer was so good at. the transitions between, and you have to work a lot with it. You can't, like when I draw it a little bit, I really have to go in when I put in some and draw it. I need to go in, I need to shake that up so it doesn't turn stiff. And that is a difference between a good and bad painting, how much is drawn. So that you keep it open and kind of just, yeah, what no matter.
And also, how do you approach painting beard?
Oh yeah, I'm crisscrossing.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to use my, the pig brush, whatever you call it. Jag vet inte på engelska, pig brush.
Hog here, maybe?
Oh, yeah, I know it's a hog.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to do is since there's a beard here, I just try to get some. I kind of try to get colors, kind of grab it, and then I try to get the hairs, the color into the hairs, and then I just try to kind of go like this with a brush, like just try to knit it in a way, and then I go, and I also need to have several different colors, because in between the beard I see there's yellow, and then it's red, and there's some more yellow. And what I'm doing is basically, over time now, I'm just building a beard texture, if you know, yeah? So that is basically, you just have to work back and forth and find the right directions and find the right, because if you're a total photorealist, of course you can basically paint every hair, but I'm not a photorealist. I paint with textures and brushwork, so I have to paint impressions. If you see that Philip Weber artist, he would basically paint every single beard and almost every single pore.
Yeah.
But that is not what I'm doing. I'm just trying to kind of find some kind of believable impression. So it's kind of a sort of micro impressionism. If you go into it with a magnifying glass, you will see there's just a lot of brushwork and colors that was knitted into one another, almost like this texture is flatter, so you have to use a different type of many people would actually think that you should paint skin very smooth and smoothed out, but you don't experience skin in that way. You experience it with some kind of texture. So you have to find that, yeah. If you exaggerate it too much, you can always scrape it down when it has dried, and you can glaze over it, and then all the small brushwork will come out. So, and then you can paint on top. And that is what I will do when this has dried. I just want to try to get it a little bit more right. So it's not easy actually. It's a time-consuming thing. And if you didn't have the beard, it would maybe it wouldn't be easier, or maybe even harder. It's hard to say. Because of course the beard gives me something to work with. Yay.
It's in a way harder if you, for example, if you are painting a child who is very, there is a lack of character and everything is very flat. It's very little to work with. Is that in a
Well,
way
it's,
harder,
then you have to be
or-
even more careful with the directions and to get it even more smooth, you know. So, of course, but it would be the same process. Actually, painted some children before, and I actually like to paint children because they are so full of color, you know. They have this transparent skin. He has some of it here actually, so and when you paint lips, you have to, when you look at the lips, actually they are extremely transparent, so you can actually see the blood underneath. But also we will have a tendency to paint them too white, because that is how my brain sees them. And then I realized that they aren't so. They are quite white, but they aren't that white, and they are not as red as I believe. So you have to overcome these symbols. You have a symbol for lip, and we have a tendency to paint them too red, because yeah, you know why. Yeah. And you see here that bridge. Hva var det kalte det?
Transition.
Yeah. It's very difficult to get. Yeah. It looks strange on the camera, but not in reality.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It looks much better in reality than it does on camera.
Weird.
Just so you people know.
Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like my camera can't pick things up. Anyway, maybe I should get in more light here. Maybe that's it. Actually, it can be that because it's kind of bright, more light here, and it's darker here. So when I bring it up a little bit and get more light in here too, it might compensate for that. Anyway, I feel I'm getting tired and stuff, so can end this soon. And was it anything more GPD could
If you could paint a portrait of anyone, living or dead, who would it be and why?
Ooh. Well, of course, Christopher Hitchens is one of them. Carl Sagan is one of them. Of course, Donald Trump is fun. That would be fun to paint his portrait in the White House. But I probably wouldn't get into United States anyways.
Oh, he could get you in.
Yeah, he could
He's the
get me in.
president. He can do anything.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants to. Yeah, who would that be? Mohammed? No, already did that. So, no, it would be people who actually are doing great things for humanity, like Elon Musk, and if dead, Marcus Aurelius, or maybe Einstein. Einstein would be fun to paint. So it would be people who did won some victory for humanity, as I say. I actually gonna do a lot of portraits like that later when I'm gone. To this human condition thing, I'm gonna pick a lot of portraits. And yes, the guy who played Superman and Brad Pitt. There's so many. There's quite many. I would like to paint.
Yeah, so if any one of those people see this video, they can just contact you.
Yeah, they can just contact me. So. No, I think I'm kind of. You see that? Did something positive happen now?
Yeah.
Mm. Do you have any painting question? Or are you just empty in your... You want some popcorn?
Yeah. I'm having cravings from Thursday.
Yeah. Popcorn. I bought actually a package of popcorn. No, we can pop it myself. We can pop it ourselves. Try that. Sit down and eat some popcorn. Popcorn? No. Who would I paint? I would have painted, of course. I want to paint Carl Sagan. I want to paint. Yeah, Christopher Hitchens. I'm already doing actually a portrait of him from a photo. Huh? You didn't know?
Yeah, is it the one where he sits on
Yeah.
medicine bowl, or what is it called? Yoga bowl?
Yeah, yoga bowl. It's a shame I didn't finish it yet. So many things I have, nice things I have started on and not finished. So. There's a lot of I think if I could paint a portrait of Marcus Aurelius or some of these people who really Seneca, people who matters in history. But Christopher Hitchens is definitely one of the people, yeah. Anyway, do you have anything you wonder about when it comes to painting? Something you haven't heard me talk about before?
Something completely new.
Completely new. There is nothing new. That's the problem. When there's nothing new, it's just time to die, isn't it?
Well, not quite yet.
Not quite yet. So, I think I'm just gonna leave it at this. And it is this thing, it's so important to get these. This is not a line, okay? It is a shadow. And the closer you can get to that thing, get all the nuances to just cross over into each other, bridging, the better the painting becomes, you know. And that's the whole thing. That's the whole challenge. And you know that because you have done battle with it yourself. So you know what I'm talking about. See. Here's way too hard, that line. Maybe that's the problem, you know. That's why the camera actually picks it up wrongly, because it is supposed to be some bluish here. And then I need to go in with the with neons here, and it's more yellowish, and do like this. Look at the camera now, see if it looks a little bit more correct.
It's still quite thin.
Yeah, okay, it is.
But
Weird. Where does that thinness come from?
if you change it so it stands more like here, maybe that would change it.
Yeah, you see now it looks... Maybe it is that the chin is too... You need to kind of cross over in the chin here. Like, get this more like this. Did something happen now? Now? Maybe? Huh? No?
It looks like he needs to be actually broader on both sides.
Oh yeah, okay.
But,
This side
but
too?
it doesn't look like it in real life.
No, it doesn't look
So,
like it in real life, so I have no idea what the fuck is the camera doing. It's weird.
Or maybe it's the hairline? No.
No,
No.
no. I don't
Maybe,
think,
it needs to be more shadow.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, maybe more shadow here. Yeah, it's gonna be more shadow.
Yeah, I think so, because...
Well, maybe we should try to just see it. Wait, try to see it like this. You know, now it fell. You see that?
Yeah.
That was the same. So it's the angle. It is probably the paint that is fucking with me. You know? So now you see, now it actually is almost the same.
Yeah.
You see that? So I guess it's the angle. And it's the paint who twist it, because the paint is physical and the camera and the photo is not. So it just twists it. It's almost like you twist a sculpture in a way.
It's
Okay.
not completely flat.
Yeah, it's completely flat. But the painting isn't flat. So I guess it's good to know if you didn't do it. See now? See how close it is? Now? It really starts to look correct. Okay. So it's actually the angle. Yay, we figured it out. Okay. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello, that's Amalie. Okay, and then it's gone. Give a thumbs up, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and if you want to support my work, go to Patreon or buy me a coffee. Links in description.